You're welcome back. So tomorrow will be another day of commemoration, World Kidney Day. Well, this year's celebration is themed Kidney Diseases and Obesity, Health Lifestyle for Healthy Kidneys. The Minister of Health, IGP, First Lady and the Osumanche are expected to grace an event due to take place at that's supposed to address the importance of kidney health for the World Kidney Day celebrations. Well, a free health screening for the public service personnel and their families will be held. But we can get more on this from Dr. John Nkrumah Mills, who is board member of the Health Education on Wheels. Well, they are partnering the police to organize tomorrow's event. He joins me now in the studio so we can understand exactly what they're doing. You're welcome, Doc.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for coming. So, dialysis, that's what this is all about, isn't it? Because that's what helps people to deal with kidney problems.
Yes, but that is, if you like, the last stage of helping somebody with a kidney problem.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. The best to prevent it,
yes.
Which is why you're embarking on this. So
yes.
Tell us about it and how it's going to help prevent kidney-related diseases.
Right. To start off, there will be education on the things you should not be doing. But the theme for this year is on obesity. And that is when there's an excess accumulation of fats. Okay. And the idea is to let people know that it is a problem because it is one of the key, indicators for a person brooding kidney disease, chronic kidney disease, end-stage kidney disease. And the idea is that you want to prevent obesity.
Okay, but then what are the symptoms? How do you know perhaps that you are obese? Because sometimes you'll have a little bit of flesh and you will still think that, well, it's okay. And actually in our parts of the world, when you put on a bit more flesh, that's why people say that you're living the good life. So that is changing, by the way. But then how do you know that you are overweight or obese and without necessarily having to go to the hospital? And how do you know that it has anything to do with a kidney problem?
I think generally everybody sees you and you yourself will know you're overweight. A simple thing, a way of doing it is measuring the waistline. In ladies, if it's above 35 inches, then watch out. You are obese. In men, 40 inches, you watch out. But then you don't have to wait for it to be 40 inches. You look at the abdomen and you see what's happening. That pot is just fat.
But isn't there something that's okay? I mean, I'm just trying to find out how you can, what's acceptable, what's extremely not okay, for instance.
Right. What's acceptable is really what you call the BMI, body mass index. It's your height related to your weight. There's a calculation for it. And there's an app. I'm sure somebody can get an app and then you can calculate it yourself. Above 25, then you know you are getting into the overweight situation. Right. Yes.
Okay. So this, right.
By itself, it wouldn't give you, overweight will not give you any symptoms.
Okay. Of kidney-related problems. So then how do you know when you're beginning to have problems with your kidney?
Right. Unfortunately, the kidney is such an organ that takes care of itself that by the time you are having any symptoms, then you are in the late stages of the disease. Oh. So you initially wouldn't really note anything at all. But the obese person is the one who is predisposed to developing diabetes. It's a type we call the type 2 diabetes. And if the diabetes comes up, then you know that the diabetes would lead to kidney problems in the future. So this is the thing. Prevent it so you don't have a problem.
So even at the last stages that you're talking about, what should you panic when you see? What should make you want to have to rush to the hospital to get some treatment?
One of the things somebody would notice would be that they are not passing urine enough. That's when you have a kidney disease, which is chronic. But even for me, that is too late. You shouldn't get there. But if diabetes is coming in, if you ever wake up and you are swollen, usually to start with the face, but it will be subtle, and so I'll have to look at it closely. Okay. But if you get to be swelling both your feet and if it comes to the abdomen, then you are really in late stages of kidney disease, chronic
okay.
kidney disease.
Does it mean the same has happened if you are those people who sit for a long time and have your feet swollen?
No.
That's a different
No. Even
case.
that you want to do something about it, but that's
Okay,
not.
that's not it. So tell us about this project briefly, sir.
The project is the Health Education on Wheels. It's an NGO which is dedicated to, as the name goes, health education, spreading it wide, and that's because of experiences. You get into this business for some time and then you realize people do not know. That is why they have the problems. And tomorrow, by way of celebrating, there'll be free screening.
Okay.
That is, you check the blood pressure. You may do a urine testing to find certain things. And then the height and weight will be checked. Yeah, maybe we would add the waistline measurement to it.
Okay.
And that should give you an indication of what is going. So anybody found to have this problem, then is advised appropriately what to do.
What to do. So this is happening tomorrow at the police hospital, correct?
Yes.
Tomorrow at the police hospital there will be free screening to check whether or not you've got you're prone or whether or not you're close to kidney problems, and Dr. Nkrumah Mills is leading that particular project in collaboration with the police hospital. Okay, now what are you really seeking to achieve apart from helping people to know what they don't know and what they should know? What else are you seeking to achieve with this project?
Basically, what we would want to do is focusing on the individual and then also bring in kidney management information around.
Okay.
For instance, we are not stressing it too much, but kidney transplant has been done in this country before, and people may get worried. Why, when I give my kidney, what happens to me? And we would advise that you really can live well with one kidney. There's been no problem. So we would want to give out information as to what to do.
Okay.
A relative has a problem, then you can help.
It's very scary, and I was studying in the UK, and even in the UK, there was statistics that indicated that Africans were more hesitant to give off their kidneys than people from elsewhere or people from the West. Is there a problem? I mean, and you've done this for a very long time. What really is the problem? Is it that people do not understand? I mean, I will find it a bit odd that I'm living on one kidney, but isn't there any related health risks at all? I mean, you say it, but really, is it?
Oh, well, in the event that you've had an accident and your surviving kidney, you're giving one to your brother, say, is injured, that's a disaster. But even there, surgeons would want to preserve as much as possible. In fact, I say you can live on one kidney, but you can live on less than one kidney. So
really?
Even if oh, yes. You can live on less than one kidney. So even if there's an injury, we would save that kidney for you. And there's no risk, extra risk, once you've donated a kidney. And this is from studies. This is evidence-based. It's not a question of saying it to the people. No.
Why then did God give us two kidneys then, if we can live on one?
In fact, the whole body behaves that way. You have so much excess capacity that before you decide, I'm too tired to work, you really have used all the resources that you need to. And every part of the liver, for instance, you can live on 1/10 of the liver, but you have so much capacity. So the whole body really is built to keep you going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, then tomorrow we're hoping that people will turn out in their numbers to benefit from the free screening that's happening at
And
the
education.
And education that's happening at the police hospital. Finally, before you go, I'd like for you to give us maybe tips on what to do to prevent this. What are some of the habits? What are some of the lifestyle habits that you should adopt if you want to, we're talking about prevention here.
That's right.
Right.
Yes, this is really a lifestyle situation because obesity is increasing. Since 1980 to now, I think the obesity rate in this country has gone up to 20%. It's not only in Ghana, because right now there's a surgical discipline, bariatric surgery, reducing your stomach size and things, and that is helping. We haven't got there yet in this country, but so avoid obesity, increase your exercise, cut down on food, and particularly the sugar, cut down on it. Sugar drinks, we should reduce them. Substitute them with locally made drinks and control the sugar in there. Cut down on the fats and things. And don't abuse drugs, whatever. There are a number of drugs that can possibly harm the kidney, but very often it is when you abuse them that you get into that situation. Avoiding the abuse means get the drug prescribed and then take it for when you are supposed to take it, and that's
and that's it. Is alcohol dangerous to the kidney?
Too much of everything is bad, but strictly speaking, the alcohol doesn't seem to affect the kidney too much. What it will do is it will get you to urinate a lot more.
So that's even better?
Well, if you need to.
Because that's going to sound like a license for people to drink and booze.
Well, that's just to let them be aware why they urinate a lot when they drink.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that good.
But that's obviously a good sign, isn't it?
Well, it means your kidneys are working, but you are drinking, you are not urinating, and watch out.
Okay, well, we'll say a very big thanks to you, Doc, for coming through, and we wish you all the best with the planned free screening tomorrow. What's the time, please?
To start at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock,
Yes.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
So 9 a.m. tomorrow, you want to be at the police hospital where you meet a team of health experts. Of course, Dr. John Nkrumah Mills himself will be there, and they will be conducting free. This is free. Come on, free health screening, just so we're sure that you do not have any problems with your kidneys. Thank you very much for this initiative. Well, let's move on to some other stories now. Suicide among students is becoming rampant as another final year student from University of Ghana, Legon, dies in what is suspected to be suicide. Well, just a few weeks ago, a student from KN University also hanged herself in a room. Another of such cases was a child who hanged herself because of a misunderstanding somewhere in Kaswa. A level 400 female student of the University of Ghana died after she allegedly jumped from the 4th floor of the Ekwafo Hall residence. Porters at the hall found her on the floor at dawn today with severe head injuries. It is not clear what may have caused her to jump or fall from her hall of residence, but some students say she had been moody lately. This is Ekwafo Hall Annex A, where Jennifer Nyako, a level 400 student, is believed to have jumped off the 4th floor as she was found lifeless this dawn and in a pool of blood here, where she was rushed to the Legon hospital but was confirmed dead by the doctors on arrival. You can still see a pool of blood here which is still fresh, which hasn't been cleared yet. So this is the exact spot where level 400 consumer science student Jennifer Nyako was found lying this dawn between the hours of 4 and 5 on Wednesday dawn. So we'll be getting more information from school authorities, from her roommates, who are certainly devastated by this news.
When we came to school, I don't really know it that much, but you know, we're in our final year, we are having projects, so we're grouped into 4s, and she perhaps came to be part of our group. Yes, and so we worked together and all that. So I actually heard the news this morning that she passed away.
So you are actually doing the same project with her?
Yes.
What project is that?
Oh, actually, we are canning consume waste too. That's our project, the topic.
Okay. So describe to me what kind of person was Jennifer?
She's a calm. She's calm. I don't know much about her, but you get it.
So you're doing the same course. Has she been to lectures this semester?
Yeah, she comes for lectures.
When was the last time you saw her at lectures?
On Friday.
On Friday. When you saw her, how was she?
She was fine. She was very fine. So I'm even surprised this is what happened to her.
It was a high fever. Some people said it's psychological. She's not been stable lately.
Her roommates are the best people because we hardly even seen her.
Has she been to? Has she been to?
It's 4007.
4007.
Because yesterday I even asked of her from the room. So she.
It's a very sad situation there. Matilda Wanaga trying to speak to some of the students there on campus, but the public relations officer of the university, Stella Amoa, told Joy News that steps are being taken by the university. She spoke about basically generally about steps that the university intends to take going forward.
No one saw her jump off the balcony.
At such a time, I'm sure it was pretty dark. It was still dark, and we do not have any reports, so we cannot tell that somebody followed her or anything. It will be difficult to say that this is exactly the process that this incident.
What information did the school pick this dawn regarding her death?
Probably around 4:30 a.m. At dawn, there was a loud noise that was heard, and later on the porters were alerted. Somebody on the first floor found out that this is what had happened. A lifeless body or body was on the ground, and so the porters went and found that there was a female resident of Ekwafo Hall. Obviously, the body was lifeless, so they called in the campus security and other hall authorities, and also mobilized the Legon police who came, and our hospital. So the ambulance was brought in and then took the body and brought the body here to the hospital. Of course, for doctors also to ascertain whether there was any life in the body that they found. Unfortunately, she was dead on arrival, and so it means the hospital has to take the necessary measures to deposit the body. The next of kin, that's the parents, were informed, and they are here. They have identified that indeed this is the body of their daughter, and thereafter we await the report from both the hospital, from the police, and so for the other professionals, and then we can come up with really what happened. So for the moment, we do not want to be speculative and make any assumptions. I think this is very bad news, very disheartening for the University of Ghana, especially coming on the heels of a student who recently there was an incident, a similar incident on one of our sister university campus. So we are very saddened about this. It's also a very sensitive time, not just for the university and her colleagues, but also for the family. And I think we should respect the views and all the sensitivities that come with such an incident.
Her roommate, what immediate step has the university authority taken to address some of these issues? Because when things of this nature happen, some will be devastated and traumatized by this event. What immediate step has the university taken to address them?
Obviously, if you have resided with a friend and this is what happens, you will be shaken. I'm not sure they can even attend lectures, but we have a careers and counseling center, and the center will deal with the counseling issues. We also have offered counseling to the parents and other family members of our student, and I think they will go through various sessions to ensure that the little help that we can give by way of our professional counselors will do so. So that is what we intend doing, and we've already started.
Okay, so at the moment they have been moved to a different hall, I must.
Well, I can't say, but it will form part of the counseling sessions that they will have. If it is okay for them to be moved, because it didn't happen in the room, so obviously there's nothing, of course, but it will depend on what the counselors will say.
Well, that is the PRO for the university, Madam Amoa. They're speaking to Matilda Wanaga. We understand that the lady's body has since been deposited at the Legon Hospital. But Matilda is here with me in the studio. We understand, Matilda, that you met with the parents as well. What was their mood?
Clearly devastated by this sudden news, because according to her mother, who was so... She couldn't even speak to us. It was her sister who was doing much of the talking. She said Jennifer wasn't well some few weeks ago. She wasn't well some few weeks ago, and then she came to her home. That was just yesterday. complaining of headache and all that. So she gave her food. Afterwards, she boarded a taxi for her to go back to campus. So she called this dawn to check up on her to find out how she's doing. But according to her, it's she wouldn't give much details, but she said she's supposed to go attend a prayer meeting with her on Sunday. She came, and Jennifer came to her house yesterday.
Okay, so these are the parents.
These are her parents, yes.
That's her father.
The father,
and then
yes.
that must be the mother.
Yes,
woman
they
on the
were
side.
together with the university authorities. That's the vice chancellor. That's the
this
sister.
woman?
That's
That's
the
the sister.
The sister, yes. The one in blue was the one who Jennifer visited yesterday at her home somewhere in Accra, and then she made her go back to campus because she had lectures this morning, only to be told that Jennifer had been rushed to the hospital this morning. So they had to go to the morgue to confirm that indeed that was her, and then you can tell that that's the dad there who was clearly devastated by the sudden news.
He definitely looks distraught. But are they linking this to any, does she have a history of depression, emotional problems? Is that anything they spoke about?
They are very tight-lipped as to what exactly might have triggered this, but the little interaction I had with her course mate and her floor mates, I saw her roommates, but they wouldn't speak because they are still traumatized by this event. But information I picked from some of her course mates and floor mates is that somewhere last semester, she is a very happy person, cheerful person, but between 2 weeks and then last week, she's been quite moody. She doesn't talk much. Even in her room, she wouldn't open up as to what exactly is wrong with her. So some of her friends are saying she was depressed between last 2 weeks and then this week. So they do not know. They can't really confirm what exactly might have triggered Jennifer to jump off of this 4th floor.
It looks like a very distraught family, if you ask me. But what was the mood generally on campus there among the students?
So among the female students in particular, especially those on her floor, they are still in shock because they don't expect someone like Jennifer, a level 400 student who is almost done. She's just working on her project. So they still do not understand why someone of that nature would take such a decision. So they are still worried, and I understand the school authorities are going to offer some form of counseling for her roommates who have been moved to a different room now.
And any notes, anything like that?
No,
Nothing?
there wasn't any notes. She didn't leave any notes, yes.
Okay. Well, very big thanks to you, Matilda, for doing that job for us. Matilda Omega has been to the University of Ghana, where a lady, a level 400 student, jumped off her 4th floor residence and she died. Well, let's move on to the Eastern region. A farmer believed to be in his late 50s has hacked his 8-year-old daughter, Rebecca Duga, with a cutlass for cracking palm nuts at Wawase near Eswobi in the Krabwa-Kota district of the Eastern region. The 8-year-old Rebecca Duga sustained deep cuts on her head, and this has affected her left eye. The suspect was arrested by the police upon a tip-off. Rebecca has since been receiving treatment at the Suhum Government Hospital. Doctors have hinted that she will be transferred to the Eastern Regional Hospital for further treatment. My colleague Maxwell Kudeko has been following the story. He joins me on the line. Hello, Maxwell.
Hello, Gypsy.
Maxwell, how is she doing now?
Well, doctors at the Suhum Government Hospital indicated earlier in the morning that the extent of the cut is beyond their control, so they would be transferring Rebecca to the Eastern Regional Hospital this morning. So presently, she is at the Eastern Regional Hospital receiving treatment from doctors at the Regional Hospital.
And the parents, the father is in police custody at the moment, is that correct?
The father took to his hill together with the wife yesterday when police got information about the ordeal. The incident happened on Saturday when the father returned from the farm, and then he saw the child cracking palm nuts with another child. He attempted beating the child, and the child started to run. That is where he picked the cutlass and then hacked the child with. We are told that he kept the child in the room from Saturday up to yesterday while she was still suffering from the wound. So a good Samaritan hinted the police yesterday, and they went in to rescue the child. When the father got the hint that the police were coming in, she ran away with the wife, who happens to be a second wife, who is not the real mother of the victim in question. So they are presently away. They have run away, and the police has mounted a search on them.
I see. We'll say a very big thanks to you, Maxwell Kudiko, with that report from the Eastern region, where police will still be looking for the parent as the child receives treatment at the hospital. You're still watching The Pulse here with me, Gifty Andopia.